இருள் சேர் இருவினையும் சேரா இறைவன் பொருள் சேர் புகழ் புரிந்தோர் மாட்டு. The Lord's glory is unfathomable. If this is cognized and he is adored, good and evil, the two consequences of delusion will vanish.
See, our new year has always put in the context of relevance to the nature. So there is nature and it has patterns. So Srushti Sthiti Layam is a part of nature. So whenever you see something new, means new energy coming out. New, first of all, the Surya, when we look at Surya, sun, Suryan, whichever language in India is that we are not looking at Surya as a Surya Mandala. That means it is not just a mere fireball. We are looking at Aditya Hridayam. That is how we are using Panchanga. Whenever we need, we are going.
We go.
But
Right.
Panchanga exists just like the sophisticated economic forecasting model. It is forecasting broader universal.
How each nakshatras, each individual's nakshatras, and how it'll come into their rasis, and how the grahas will impact them, right?
So there
And
are both aspects of
both
it.
aspects of it, and how it impacts not only the individual but also for the plants, animals, and the
Given that AI works on continuous learning, like you need to have continuous information being fed, how does Panchanga take into account, like, say, real time variables, like, say, global warming, for example, the pollution, like, say, because all of these variables have an impact on what kind of rain we would get or the amount of snow that we might get, or the crops, for example. I remember, like, some of the farmers telling that it is based on the when Aragar goes into the
I was
river,
just going to say that
right?
they open the box, and depending on which color comes, they predict they forecast the amount of crops they're going to be harvesting this year. And then they plan, there's a whole economics behind that. The entire farming community, they plan their year based on that. And interestingly, that happens in April too. It's Chittire Tiruvira, which happens around that time, right? So like what we are trying to understand is how can this, it's a tool that we have, like we are blessed enough to have the tool. How can we use it both for our personal lives and to manage our entire year, both in all, by like social, economic, in all aspects? What is the takeaway? Like, say I'm going to a Panchanga Shravanam, what is my takeaway? How can I come back home and put that into practical use?
See, if I am a job seeker, I'm just a fresh grad.
Yes.
Right now, market is tough with AI and all. There is so much of that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so when there is an economic forecast, if you look at it, a boom economy, everybody gets benefited. Smaller effort, you will get a bigger benefit. So we have typically two-part forecast, right? One is Adayam, the other one is Vyayam at an individual Rashi level.
Yes.
So it is a ratio. So it is typically like 14 to 8. That means you get 14 income. 8 is a expense. So what it helps is you are able to forecast, and if an expense is inevitable, why don't you not spend that in an area that would be seeding your growth, contributing positively to a societal? See, now we always say that in a downward economy, in COVID kind of situation, all governments said that will give money back. But what was asked, give it back to those people who would actually put it right back into the economy. Right? So this forecast of income and expense is very sophisticated. So it is taken by farmers, like you said. It has a feedback loop. It actually takes the nature into consideration. That is why you do yajna and yagas, which are actually trying to bring harmony within the universe, not just pleasing gods. See, this is very excuse. So this is what is misunderstood, right? Like if you say that Varuna is the god of water, Indra is the god responsible for rain. So if the droughts are hitting, You would do an yajna to please Indra so that Indra will shower. Again, how he is doing, sun is coming into picture where sun is actually able to extract the water, form it into clouds, transport into the region that needs the clouds, and then pour the rain. The drought cycle is forecasted. It is cyclical. You will be hit. We have 12-year cycle that, okay, the abundance or scarcity of rain. Once you know and once you start understanding, then you will proactively plant, grow greenery so that you are less impacted by this forecasted like drought. But if you don't and then you become reactive, you have to start buying water.
Yeah. One example I'll say, like, I know they say Shani, like it not Shani or 7.5 years. So basically, it's misunderstood. It is Shani Chara, means that is a planet which
Moves
walks
slowly.
moves very
Shanai Sharati iti Shanesh.
Yes.
Shani Ishwara. Like
It's not Shani
it-
Ishwara.
Shanai Shara.
Okay.
Shanai. Sanskrita word Shanaihi Shanaihi means
Slowly.
more,
Activity style. So if you have something in your Rasi, Shani is Shani, say wake up, go to temple.
Correct.
And then, so what does that means? That means it making sure that you overcome your laziness, overcome the sleep that you end up sleeping along, which is not good for you. And if you wake up early and if you walk, you get your exercise, so your health is improved. You go out and breathe the fresh air. You will get the fresh air, which is helps your again. You have a good health, and also you think now. You're thinking whatever decision making you're making, you will be 10 times more focused. That means this is my time. So is this the right thing to do now or not? Right? So you're thinking and your decision making in a way, it'll impact you to do it properly. So Shani is that's what they say, if you're active, if you're not, wake up early, eat well, and also do exercise or making sure you are, that's why at that time it's considered to be very focused time for an individual who has it and who has done. And Shani doesn't give you bad thing. So if a person who does all those things, naturally the good things happen. But the person who doesn't do that thing, and then the bad things will happen. So that's how it is. It's a time to focus. Is what it's a
so
boom actually.
during the Shani period, if you are proactive, Shani will benefit. If you are reactive, naturally you will have a negative or side effects from Shani.
I think just from this response, I have learned a lot to be very precise. Like say, even like say, we had Panchanga Shravana. I personally attended it for the first year last time in the temple, right? So when they were calling about income and expense, there were oohs and ahs. My God, am I going to lose a lot? But I think this, just to summarize what you said, like say, it's an interesting angle to even think that incur those expenses that will basically be the seeds of your growth, for
That's a
future.
wonderful,
That's a
wonderful,
wonderful thought that
Another thing that everybody gets a little, when they say Avamanam, the word is used in Panchanga Shravana, immediately people start getting very worried and stressed. Oh, it says Avamanam, where is my year going to go? Right? So
Yeah, let's touch on that. Rajapujyam, Avamanam. See, Rajapujyam is getting the praises for your good deed.
Yes.
Avamanam is even though you are doing good deeds, you are not well recognized. This happens in everybody's life at school and corporate life. Probably corporate life, we need to go and complain our reward and recognition program is not proper. But the way that you look at Rajapujyam and Avamanam is, am I actually getting the right recognition for my right work? Means, am I even doing the right things to begin with? That is one reflection. If I am on the very heavy side of Avamanam, that means, am I doing the right things? Or should I be doing different things that will make me travel in the other direction where I will get Rajapujyam? If I am not getting as much, should I actually now become the Sthita Prajna, saying that even though I did karmanyevadikarasya. So, doshna shuka dukkeshu samasanga vivarjitaha. So, my forecast is saying that even though I am going to do all of that, I will get a bare recognition, minimal recognition is possible. That means I am mentally prepared not to expect too much of. I'm not this employee of the week every week for 50 weeks. So you say that, okay, now I did my part. I contributed positively to my organization, my even at home. That is time to reflect that am I recognizing in my life appropriately?
And it's also a way to think that if Rajapujyam is less or Avamanam is more, maybe I should think properly before I speak. Maybe I need to formulate my sentence properly, or words, use the right words without the emotions. Yeah. So again, it's a way of learning in your communication.
And I say it is a tool for us to introspect and course correct. That
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
summarize.
Because you are already on a PIP, performance improvement plan. You better watch out what you are saying. See, that is the
Okay.
forecast is saying that your avmanam is more means like just like Raji said, that means you are being looked at through a microscope. Whatever you say, you be 10 times more cautious. Then you would get it. And every Rashi at the end of the day, there will be one liner saying that if you do this Devata Stuti Puja, you would actually get benefited by lessening the negative impact, improving the positive impact. Just like that, if you are very careful in everything that you say, your avamana, then is the burden of insult is going to be very less. One is you are mentally prepared for lower level of recognition. You are more cautious about whatever comes out of you is politically right and doing the right thing. But otherwise, less about me. Am I recognizing those in my life? My dear, and first of all, we take family for granted. So we first should recognize the family without whom we, even for us, right? Like we are getting that support. That's why we are able to sit and have this wonderful conversation at work. Take that opportunity to recognize somebody else. That is the, see, right now your deposits are not maturing this year. That is what is saying that. But put all the seeds that next year your Rajapujyam is going to be 10 times. So all the good deeds that you are doing by recognizing others and being that role model that everybody looks up to you, even though you may not get the recognition this year as much as you expect, but the next year when it comes in full bounty.
Once again, going back to those summarizations, right? Another thing that I learned about, I always thought Sanishwara. I don't know. Probably I didn't even have my wife actually
No,
correct
it's
me that.
interesting. Everybody, and even when we also came to learn, it was interesting to see how misinformed most of us are there.
And I'm actually proud that we are doing this because most of our Hindu literature or Sanatani literature or knowledge is just transferred by word of mouth and not recorded anywhere. Like we did not know the concept of, like, say, why do we not touch the food without, like, say, when we have the food with the same hand or whatever, right? Everything has like a greater meaning to it. For example, as you mentioned, like, say, why do we have to do that pradakshina around, like, say, Hanumanji? Like, I used to be told that, oh, you have 7.5 years of, so go around Hanuman 108 times on a Saturday. He will protect you. But see, to me, I could do it. Tom, Dick, and Harry might not want to do it. We're like, why should I do it? Right?
Yeah, because there is a great story behind it, right? Like Hanuman was the one who actually was proactive. Just like when he was told that you are dealing with, he has a different, you see, Hanuman is the out of the box thinker. So he said that everybody deals with Shanai by fearing him. No, I would say that I will offer him wherever he would like to be. And it is presented in a very, very humorous tone. But basically, Hanuman is a personification of agility, proactive, out of the box thinking, and how Hanuman dealt with it. Each time that you go around Hanuman, you say that Jai Hanuman Jnana Gunasagara. So we are taking one tip every day. Right? Like you really say that how did Hanuman deal with it? How can I be? How did Hanuman deal with Surasa? How did Hanuman deal with Lankini?
Right.
So just like how did Hanuman deal with Shaneshwara, and I will also be proactive. If you want to be a Hanuman Bhakta, you cannot wake up at 11 a.m. and then
Yes.
go for Hanuman, right?
Correct.
You need to really be waking up just like that. He woke up and then he went to get lessons from sun. So
Mm.
we need to be an early raiser to be a Hanuman Bhakta.
This
True.
is excellent.
And like how Rajaji said, that helps your system also stay active. Like all, like now you see all these like full moon meditation and grounding techniques and all the different names that they give to it, right? But
Manifestation to
yes,
Ashwini
and
Kumara.
all of these techniques have been told to us before in the way in as remedies, as tools that they gave us. So I just remembered that like you were saying at the end, they give us a tip as to how you can face these this period of time, right? So like so many of our gurus have told, like if you feel you're going through a tough period, for example, Mahaperiva always said, if you feel Shani's effect is on you, read Trinyana Sambadhar's Kolaru Padigam. So if you keep chanting Shiva's name, Trinyana Sambadhar says, Kolo Nalo Onnu Seyyadu, you give your surrender to him. It is so fascinating that they tell us that these are all a part of your human life. You might face these challenges, but these are the things that you could do as well. So I think that is something very, very beautiful from this whole Panchanga exercise that we are going through.
In a crux, right? Say, once again, I'm going back to an English literature or a proverb that we say, right? Practice makes a man perfect. Actually, they should have added one more actually adverb in front of it, saying or adjective in front of it to say that good practice makes a man perfect, right?
Yes.
So, and this is what basically, like, say, when we go through the 7.5 Sanishwara or anything, we do good practices to make ourselves or guide us towards perfection. Because I don't believe in perfection, because I believe that you have to be 99.9% so that you have that 0.1% for job, right? To do some improvement. So that's how I see it. And this is like an eye-opener session for me. Probably like one of the questions that I want to ask is that, sorry, going back, is that continuous learning aspect. How does Panchanga keep up with the continuous learning aspect? Because AI is all about that, right? Like I feed data into it. Today, when I go to ChatGPT, it remembers that like Karthik is so and so. Karthik loves badminton. He wants to improve his technique to smash. And then when I write some next question about, like, say, hey, I want to do some other activity, it basically resonates based on my history. Oh, Karthik loves to do this. He has gone through this injury, so better avoid this kind of. Like, how does Panchanga actually take like this data into feed? And also, for example, like as I said, like say our karma, does it like our karma, does the individual's karma has a role to play in Panchanga?
Absolutely.
So
See,
you're saying continuous learning of how to improve the Panchanga thing, or how the
Like how does the prediction
individual?
model, like say the forecasting model,
Yeah.
work through continuous learning, right? Like say
yeah, so
that's how.
continuous learning is one thing because we say that, see, the thing is, if we take an LLM model, LLM is a point in time trained model. For an LLM not to hallucinate, you need to have a RAG, retrieval augmented generation.
Yes.
So Panchanga is always a RAG based long context model. Because Panchanga doesn't just say that I'm trained on this one. No, it is always going back to Parama Pramana. I think that is where we are going to now be kind of heading towards what is Astika and Nastika, right? So that is where. So Panchanga says that, okay, now I'm trained based on this data. But for me to validate before I present my highly accurate forecast, I will lean on to global patterns because we have 60 cycle pattern. That is 60 years. 60 years, there is a pattern. This universe, that's why we have only 60 names for samvatsaras. Because pattern actually repeats at a macro level. And it also takes what has happened to this particular region of the land, Desha, Kala, Mana. So you need to take those factors into consideration. How has it been last 12 years? The global forecast is looking good, but has this been raining properly here. Those factors are also taken into consideration while arriving at next year. So it is not a static model. It is completely such an integrated model to take current state, last few years of how they took advantage of the forecast. Did they keep up? Because it's going to rain, but did they clear the forest? Did they replant it? Did they regrow it? They were impacted by forest fires last 2 years. How did they regrow the greenery there? So all of those elements are there as inputs while computing for the next years. This is not sitting in isolation, closing eyes. Even when they close eyes, because of their kranta drishti, they are able to see beyond what is there really being told. So they can ask set of questions that really shows that how are the birds, how are the animals, how are the trees. So when a king visits a rishi ashramam, that's what he typically asks. Are you able to continue your teachings? And your students able to continue their learning and research? Has your environment been conducive to? Has your water bodies been pure and tranquil to help you continue to that? Do you have enough greenery that will help you? So this series of questions that they asked really gave them a very, very precise current state, not even just current state, right? Last few years worth of how did they do with it. That means they continue to abuse the environment, even though macroeconomic forecast is so good, certain pockets will never get benefited because they are so deep with the debt that they need to really come through.